college student is triggered by the shirt Charlie Kirk is wearing, and I'm like, okay. These college students are here again. I'd love to know how this went down, and I'm sure you guys are really excited about this video as I am. Today's video is from Charlie Kirk. It's titled "Students Triggered by My American Lives Matter Shirts," and I'm like, okay, I'm really interested. I want to know what is triggering him and why he's been triggered. I would really love to know that, because I'm sure a lot of you Americans that watch me are also interested, or we actually know, even without watching, you already know why he's triggered. Before we get into today's video, my name is Ogechi. If this is your first time here, hello, hi, do us click on the red subscribe button, like this video, drop a comment on what you think about this video. I'll drop my thoughts during the course of this video and after this video, so do not forget, don't go anywhere, okay? Watch the end so you drop a very interesting comment, because the conversation usually continued in the comment section. Do not forget to turn on your post notification bell so you'll be the first person to get notified anytime I drop a new video. Thanks to all my returning subscribers and viewers. You guys are amazing. Thank you. You guys, we are getting onto 2008. Thank you for keeping me here. You guys are amazing. Let's jump straight into the video. I'm getting too excited. Okay.
I noticed you're wearing an American Lives Matter shirt. What is your message to this audience right now by wearing that t-shirt? What is your intended message?
Good question.
Well, I think that we should put Americans above foreigners.
You know that the whole point of, the movement that came with Lives Matter was originally for Black Lives Matter?
Yes, I'm intentionally appropriating it. Yeah.
And are you trying to eliminate the movement Black Lives Matter? Are you trying to not bring attention to it?
I mean, well, BLM is not exactly a movement that I would be associated.
Okay, this is an interesting question coming from a white girl. Okay.
Associated with, but I believe all lives matter. American lives matter. If you're a Black American, Hispanic American, I don't care. All Americans' lives matter.
Would you take the time to recognize a group of people who have been marginalized historically and who are now asking for the same rights, the same privileges as white people in the society by letting
what rights do white people have that blacks don't?
So the issue is, it's not necessarily written in the law.
Oh, so it's like hidden.
That's the whole point. That's how marginalizing works.
Oh, so it's kind of like, it's like a ghost. You see it one day and you don't. And
because you as a white privileged person with money have never seen it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
What privilege do I as a white person have that a black person doesn't? What can a white person do in America that a black person cannot do? Be specific. Name one thing.
So there are so many issues in our society.
Name one thing. No, I gotta drill you in. Name one thing a white person can do that a black person cannot do.
So the issue is racism, okay? You can technically do it, but your life may be put at risk if you find yourself in certain areas where you might not be accepted by your race, and then your life might be in danger.
Okay, what is racism? Can you define to me what racism is?
Racism, well, I don't have the exact description as it is seen in AP style or Wikipedia.
Can you just talk in the mic, please? I'm sorry, yeah.
Sorry. Racism is the lack of opportunities because of a race, the kind of putting a person to a side.
So can you name a single example in the last 20 years where blacks were discriminated en masse, where they've been put aside? Can you give me a specific example?
You can simply talk about police brutality and mass incarceration.
What percentage of murders do Black Americans commit in America?
So there you have a point of there is over-policing in Black communities, specifically
murders.
Lower income communities.
So blacks commit murders because of police? I'm not talking about murders of police.
You're twisting my words.
So why do blacks commit so many murders?
They don't.
So they're 13% of the population, and they do 55% of the murders in America.
So why? You're not even looking at the background of it. There is over-policing in lower-income communities.
There's under-policing in lower-income communities. Number two, you're trying to say that over-policing, even if that existed, which it doesn't, leads to the fact that 13% of the U.S. population accounts for 55% of the murders?
there is a target on people of color's backs, okay? So when a white person sees a person of color,
Prove it.
there is studies, there is research.
No,
about
give me
this.
one
There is-
example. Give me one piece of evidence that there's a target on black people's back. In fact, I will submit to you there's the opposite. Black students can get into this college with lower test scores than white students. It's called affirmative action.
So now white people are the people who are struggling?
No, but
are they
I'm-
the marginalized ones?
I will go back to this, though. Can you name a specific example of what a black person cannot do that a white person can do? And be, again, specific. Anything.
I'm talking about so racism as a whole is not written in the law because that's not allowed anymore, but it still exists.
Then give me an example.
I just told you.
You said police brutality is your example. Why do you think blacks encounter police so much? They commit more crimes.
There is
And not just like a little bit more.
policing.
No, there's
and there's also
under
a
policing.
thing
And how
with
could you say
lower
such a
income
thing? We have
communities.
defunded the police in Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, largely defunded it. We saw crime rates go up.
I also want you to take in mind that when a whole group is there are opportunities to succeed.
I love that this student is very articulate. I love that she's answering the questions the way it's been asked. You know, there is a communication, right? Unlike other students where they come, they're usually very brash, very rude. They don't even want to listen. They are angry. You know, when you're not understanding or when you're not agreeing to what they're saying, they could just say anything and just get off the mic. You know, I love that she's very polite, even though she might get triggered at the end. I'm not sure, but I love the questions Charlie Kirk is asking her. I love that she's going back, and it's very interesting to see that a white girl is actually very concerned about the black community. Like she rightly mentioned, you know, racism is it's like a crime, right? But it still happens. And then he's asking mention one thing that a white person can do that a black person cannot do. And then she mentioned, you know, over policing, and what else did she mention? She also mentioned something about, you know, she mentioned police brutality. So he also mentioned that there's been a lot of crimes committed by the black community. So that's why there is over policing and all of that. I just love that the conversation, I love how the conversation is flowing. I love that they're understanding each other, even though it might spark at the end. I'm not sure, but let's just continue and see how this ends.
To succeed economically, let's say they don't get that higher paying job because they chose a white person instead of a black person, that makes
Show me an example of where that happened recently.
That makes an entire community more prone to being lower income, and then that is lower income communities are directly related to like more crime activity.
But let me ask you a question. What percentage of young blacks have both a mom and a dad raising them?
I cannot think of a percentage right now to give you.
25%. So only 1 out of 4 blacks in America have a mom and a dad around. Do you think that is a bigger issue to address than racism? Do you think more dads is a better solution, or tackling racism, which you say you can't even see in our laws?
How could dads be connected directly? Like having
dads are very connected.
And what about, okay,
when you have a dad
talking
around,
about-
you're less likely to be violent as a male, less likely to go to prison.
So explain to me why all the fathers are leaving.
Exactly. Why are they leaving?
Question for you.
Because
why are
black
they leaving?
women married
So-
the government and divorced the men that they were once with.
Talk about white people right now.
I'm sorry, I'm
Talk about
a
white people.
realist, not a racist. Secondly, see,
about
you could
white people.
you could come up to the mic and call me a racist to my face, or are you an intellectual coward and want to shout it from 30 feet away?
Charlie Kirk and this student, I don't know where he gets these people from. Let's be very realistic here. He's raising really valid points. Now, if we get to the root of this problem, we could actually solve this problem. Black Lives Matter, yes, but can we just solve the root problems, just like he rightfully mentioned? Just let's be very realistic, right? I know that I'm not an American, and I might not have a right to say so much, right? But if we look at it critically, these are fundamental issues. These are foundational issues that if they are being solved, probably the crime rate will reduce, over policing will reduce, low income rates will reduce. Do you get? I just think that these points are really valid. I also loved how this is one of Charlie Kirk's video that, you know, he's having with this student, and it actually went very okay, right? They dialogued very well. There was no rudeness, there was no brash behavior, there was no impoliteness, you know, except from the people shouting in the crowd and all of those things. Yeah, do I think Charlie Kirk is racist? I don't think so. I don't think so. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and your comments about this particular video. A lot of conversations were raised in this video, and I think that if we begin to give solutions to them, probably the Black Lives Matter will be, you know, the intention or the vision behind that movement will be realized. Yes, we'll come to fruition. Anyway, please drop your comments on what you think about this particular video. Let me know what you think. Drop all your comments. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Please, let's keep it very polite and civil. No need to be rude, okay, so we can get to understand each other better. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and drop a meaningful comment. Do not forget to also turn on your post notification bell. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.